Continuing on where we left off, we're on the outside of the domain, where we see Kenjaku say domain expansion, and then we get some narration. The climax begins. The external contours of a barrier are weak on the outside. We see Kenjaku and he says this: "It's wonderful. I never thought of using such basic logic again." Kenjaku collapses the void, leading to the three sorcerers to be suspended in the air. We continue with the narration. The logic of a domain without barriers lies in the fact that its guaranteed hit extends beyond the opponent's own barrier, and if we add that the sorcerer of the barrierless domain is attacking from the outside, the result is more than obvious. We focus on Kenjaku when he says, "I doubt you can see me right now." Sukuna regains consciousness and we follow his monologue. If my assumption is correct, he can't right now. He can't recognize Suguru Geto's body in its current state. To unleash 4 infinite voids tonight without rest. If you weren't that, currently you and your brain would be dead. Just for a second, you really had it measured. It switches to the narration. Through an advanced configuration, Suguru Geto's domain sure hit attack takes effect only on Satoru Gojo, where in a fraction of a second the domain's effect began. In an instant, Satoru Gojo begins to plummet downward at the same time. Yuta Okatsu and Roma and Sukuna begin to fall due to the inertia and their current state from the domain battle. The infected condition had managed to give him the ability to endure and ignore fatigue in an inhuman way. In this way, he was able to use his ritual even after the fall of a domain. But after expanding his domain 4 times, the frontal cortex of Satoru Gojo's brain is in an extreme state of damage. At this very moment, that damage makes it impossible to expand what would be a 5th infinite void. Added to a possible decline in the performance of the ritual itself, the virus would start to seek solutions. Using Satoru Gojo's memories and knowledge, the virus would manage to find the best solution, which would be determined as eliminate the problem at its root. Geto is shocked as he says, "No, did I miscalculate? I managed to predict his inability to expand his domain again." But seriously, his ritual is still performing at maximum efficiency. At the moment his fall began, 2 events started to occur simultaneously, where the technique of the 3 great clans Fallen Paddle's motion would activate alongside a maximum output blue. In combination, the result is obvious. In the next instant, a process of destruction and reconstruction will begin in the right frontal cortex, not only avoiding the future decline of the cursed ritual's performance, but also expanding a domain again will become a reality. Geto starts to think to himself, did he manage to rise, even with my sure hit attack active? Satoru Gojo, will he not notice Suguru Geto's body? He shows no sign of resisting. Is the virus betting everything right now to ensure the fall of the domain? Just for these brief instants, a text box appears, saying, "The virus completely suppressed Satoru Gojo. In just a matter of seconds, the womb profusion has fallen, but he still hasn't." Out of nowhere, Sukuna throws a punch at Gojo. The narration continues. Once the domain falls, the virus begins action destroying and reconstructing the affected area, leaving the ritual in a fresh state. With a normal reverse technique process, it would be a matter of seconds, but the virus only having its natural healing for the next 570 seconds, Satoru Gojo will not possess his curse technique. Sukuna taunts Gojo, asking him what's wrong with his curse technique. Hello, editor's note. A lot of my narration isn't going to be exactly in line with what's going to be shown on screen. I translated the Spanish TikTok post into English before I was sent the English versions of the panel, so a few lines will be altered, but there's no drastic changes. We won't get a Netflix anime subtitle situation. Alright, back to the story. Yuta begins to wake up and see the battle between Sukuna and Gojo. He starts to hear that Gojo doesn't have his curse technique. Realizing how everyone had used up their domain expansions and that he can't rely on Rika either, he has one wild card. He signals a switch with Yuki. Tsukumo is seen fighting a couple of zombies. The zombies appear in both blue and red techniques were used, meaning that these zombies operate under a hive mind. We can also see that Todo is there as well. They both start to realize that Yuta is calling for their help. Yuki starts to speak to herself. "I have no idea what's happening to you." Okatsu, Sukuna, and someone else managed to expand their domains, but they didn't achieve it this way. Okatsu wants to trade himself now. Is it because of the loss of his domain? The few things I could analyze is Gojo's ability to expand domains without... Wait, these things didn't start appearing when Gojo's dominance falls under a minute later, and if we add that these things appeared 1 minute after the fall of Infinite Void, Okatsu wants to exchange right now. The virus wants to protect Gojo. This means that this is our best opportunity. This explains the disappearance of the entire horde. Could it be that Gojo has his cursed ritual worn out? We can see that zombie Megumi has survived. Since Mahoraga was never fully tamed, he has another chance to summon him. A text box appears, saying the contingency plan begins. Yuki has a 1,000-yard stare as none other than Mahoraga appears in front of her. We're back to the battle with Gojo against Sukuna and Yuta. Yuta begins to say to himself, "Shit, what's happening? Why won't exchange everything with me? This presence, I had felt it before." Megumi. The next panel has Gojo slam Sukuna into the ground. Following that, we see Gojo aura farming, with text next to him saying, "It's absurd." We get even more of Yuta's monologue. dialogue. Crap, this thing doesn't even have a damn curse technique. How strong are you, Gojo-sensei? Rika appears for a moment to protect him, and this starts a countdown of 57 seconds until something happens. Gojo sends Yuta crashing through multiple buildings. On the 34th, they hit one, and at second 28, Gojo comes out of the rubble and grabs Yuta by the leg, and at second 26, he slams him again, sending him flying out of the same building. As Yuta flies through the air at seconds 23, 22, and 21, he plans to escape to a double highway with a gap in the middle to hide from Zombie Gojo. And just when he's about to cross, supposedly with 20 seconds left, Zombie Gojo gets ahead of every possible calculation. He strikes early with a full force black flash on Yuta, and after that black flash, Sukuna arrives, ready for the one-on-one. Then a text box appears. In more than 1,000 years, the king has never felt so many sensations before. Shame, danger, or fear, that's what a human would feel, but he feels the purest emotion. Fun. No weapons, no techniques. The third round begins. Our story is now at a pause. Yeah, so I know that was pretty short, but you gotta admit, that was pretty good. What I'm liking so far is that we're seeing more of the characters, so it was of course there's a heavy focus on Sukuna and Gojo, because you know, they're the main characters, but now we're going to see Yuki, because I know everyone's been waiting on her. We're seeing Mahoraga again, and we're seeing Kenjaku again, because we haven't seen those two in a while either. I'm hoping to see my goat Inumaki. I'm praying that either he survives or he becomes a really badass zombie. Like, that's one of the two I'm praying for. Oh yeah, and Hikari. Everyone's been asking for Hikari. Hopefully we'll see them too. Of course, the art was phenomenal. As usual, Shankra did a really great job of recreating the Jujutsu Kaisen manga style, but you can really tell the writing is getting a lot better. Like, I know a lot of the complaints from the previous part were, of course, Gojo getting bitten by Ui, and also just the pacing, but midway through the story of Jujutsu Kaisen Zombies, they got a new writer named Doom. And funny enough, after I made part 1 of JJK Zombies, Doom emailed me, and then now we're just working together. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. Shankra's making the manga, Doom is writing, and here I am narrating and presenting it to an English-speaking audience. I just thought of this. Remember when Gege introduced the US military for absolutely no reason? Like, they just appeared and then nothing was explained out of that. Like, they had a whole scene where a US soldier comes across the most terrifying curse spirit. Overall, this was, yeah, a really good follow-up to the previous part. I mean, yeah, so shout out Doom, shout out Shankra, and shout out Hoodie Dude, because I know he's watching. Doom also wanted me to bring up the original writer, as he will be working on the next arc for Jujutsu Kaisen Zombies, which is the Culling Games arc. Now I'll take the next few minutes to just discuss like the future of this channel and just me with Infection AUs and other stuff. So everyone knows me as the Infection AU guy. Like, I did Smash Bros, I did Bluey, How to Train Your Dragon, One Piece, JJK, all those, and it's getting pretty clear the more I upload them, it's either people are demanding more or people are getting really tired of them. Like I've seen them be referred to as slop, I've seen them referred to as edgy content farms, and yeah, I fully agree. Like, these are the good ones I'm covering, by the way. Like if you were to go on TikTok and look up Infection AU, they're gonna be dog shit. It's like that meme of the guy's finding diamonds and he turns around. That's what it feels like. So yeah, I'm trying to move on from these Infection AU stuff. I'm getting pretty tired of them. I have like other projects I'm more interested in doing. In between this video and JJK part 1, I did a video on Happy Tree Friends, and I did Urban Legends part 3, and even though those didn't like do as well as my other Infection AU videos, you know, I think I had a lot more fun enjoying them, and I think they're a lot higher in quality too. And go check them out if you want to. I know the Smash Bros Infection has like more stuff to it too, and if I'm being honest, like there's not enough content to really make a whole video on. Like, it'll probably even be shorter than this video right now, and this video is already pretty short. And also just like, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I think with the more recent parts, it was like, alright. So I may or may not make a part 3 of Smash Bros. And if Ors of Course or Thai Records end up making their part 3 of Smash Bros before I do, then yeah, I think that will just dwindle my chances. Thank you to Shankra and Doom for making this amazing series, and thank you guys, yeah, just for watching. Take care of yourselves, and of course, as usual, please have yourselves a damn good one. Oh, before you leave, go check out my Patreon or my YouTube members. For only $2 a month, I'll be giving exclusive content, and I'll also be giving people shoutouts at the end of each video. If you want to help support the channel and future videos while also getting some perks, yeah, go check them out.